Women who make Q101. Lauren interviews Emily Armstrong. Let's go. Emily Armstrong of Linkin Park and interviewed on Q101. First solo interview since joining Linkin Park. So also about Dead Sara.
She is a force fronting the two greatest bands of all time. She is one of the women who makes Q101. She's Emily Armstrong, and she's here.
And she's got the mesh jumper thing on.
Thank you for having me. Hi.
Thank
you. It's been a minute.
It's been so long. I was talking the other day, you with Dead Sara at JBTV was my first interview when I moved to Chicago almost 13 years ago.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's insane. And so much has happened in between that.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit. Have these last 6 months been the absolute craziest that you've ever had?
Ever experienced in my life, yes.
I can imagine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just being on the other side and witnessing what's happening. I love seeing all these music fans, a lot of them discovering
Emily just seems like such a damn real person.
New chapter for Linkin Park, this new chapter for you. And being one of the women who make this amazing radio station, going back to the beginning, did you grow up in a musical household?
Not necessarily, no.
No?
No, it was just kind of what was on the radio at the time, and I knew that I loved it. And it wasn't until there was a band that was playing at school that I was like, holy shit. I mean, my mom played a little bit, my aunt played some.
So you got to keep in mind, me and Emily are basically the same age. So
you know what I mean?
I'm thinking that we grew up listening to a lot of the same stuff.
It was more about the kids at school.
Gotcha. And was that when something clicked for you when you were around 11? Mm-hmm. When you first picked up a guitar?
My favorite thing is finding out about how people got into metal.
Wrote your first song?
Yeah. Literally. I mean, I think I probably wrote my first song when I was 12 because I got a guitar for my 12th birthday. So I was like really into playing guitar. I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. And then I got a guitar for my birthday, and then I just started writing and practicing and trying to figure things out. And again, like I said, that band that was at the school, they were older and they were, writing songs and having shows and stuff. And I was just like learning a little bit from them. Like, can you show me some chords and stuff? And that was that.
Do you remember that first song that you wrote?
I kind of do, yes.
And?
Yeah, I think there was some before that, but the one that actually like a full song, like fully written, I do. And it's very
First song I ever wrote was called Focused. I had my friend Tim. It's in a bunch of my reactions.
The late 90s, that nothing made sense. That I was listening to all the time, but I'm not going to sing it right now. I can't do it. Yeah, I played like bar chords, like this, just like
yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. When I first picked up guitar, I played with my thumb and just went like this, and I did the race car song because it just sounded like.
Oh yeah.
You're way better than me though.
But I had singers like that, like friends, because I never was like I've never like wanted to be a singer, so I'd have people sing the songs that I wrote, and that was like I just loved being in a band, and I figured obviously I ended up being a singer.
Which that shocks me that wasn't your first kind of foray into it. What was that turning point when you decided, okay, let me try singing now?
Well, I was kind of forced into it just because the singers that came and went, I was just I got kind of annoyed by like people leaving and coming and going. And
me and Ben,
obviously, like
at one point, both tried to do vocals because we were like, it's too hard to find a singer. One of us just has to do it.
And
didn't work out.
I realized that later as I was like, okay, we were about to do like a little tour up the coast of California, and the singer couldn't do it. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll just do it. Like, it was kind of annoying. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I wrote the songs, I'll do it. But then at that point, I was just kind of like, okay, so once I started getting in front of people, I was like, okay, there's something to this. I'm still not the best, but I could hear it. So I was like, I clicked into that and going, wait, okay. And then I just started going into that mentality of just like, wait, chasing that sound that I heard so well in my head and realizing, oh, I can't get anybody to do this, just because you can't articulate something like that. You just have to do it. And so I started doing it, and I found so much pleasure doing it, and being in a band and writing the songs and having it just come to life,
Be
you
it
know,
the
in a
way that
way.
she
And
intended it to be.
but at the same time, it's a dream to be in a band with another singer, you know, because that's always been something that I
Oh, blah.
really wanted, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
And you
really cool.
guys, oh my gosh, we talk about it, just a perfect combination, like peanut butter and chocolate. I just can't get over it. So first off, what was your first introduction to Linkin Park? You were a fan, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was around that
Hey,
age,
Blair,
you
not
know,
really.
maybe a little bit
I like hip hop
older.
in metal.
But yeah, Hybrid Theory came out, and it was just like new metal was everything, you know,
Yeah,
and
one step
especially that
closer.
song.
The
I remember
second it
I
hit.
bought the album and showed it to everybody at school, and I was like, you guys, this album is so fucking good,
From the
you
moment
know,
paper cut hits,
and
it's
got
like, oh
everybody,
my
you know,
God.
hyped on it and stuff. And obviously it took on a life of its own, but
Yeah.
I was just like, oh man, if he could do that, I could do it. Because I was learning to sing, you know, a little bit later. Like I was just like, I could do that. I could scream and sing. Hell yeah. If he could
And
do it, I
you
could do it.
are. And you
Yeah.
did it, and you are.
Yeah. And
What was
so
that? I know, obviously you have been around in circles and musicians, but what was that first step where you um, went from a fan to a colleague to this band?
I don't know if I understand that question.
When you obviously you're all musicians, you've probably been in the same circles, played same shows,
So
festivals
when did you get
in the
on their
past.
level
What was that
to
transition
get
from
into
when
the
you went
band?
from a fan of Linkin Park to joining the band?
Oh, I see. I
When
see.
they asked me to join the band.
You know, it's interesting because I think we've talked about it a lot, where it's just kind of we didn't have the same
Yeah, oh, Venom. Thank you.
in the same circles. Like it was so far and few between. But as it started,
Hello.
you know,
She's
when
friends
we
with
started
everyone in the
writing again
scene.
for the second time in the studio, things started to really click in a way where we found so many similarities that didn't quite click before. I don't know if this makes any sense, but there was so many things of being like, wait, you work with this guy? We did this with our first album. We did like this guy works. It literally so many things started to like come together where it just the synergy, it was like kismet, everything was just aligning in a way where it was so surreal
I still
to
can't
me,
believe she
you know, because I'm like,
covered
how
my
have I
favorite song
never
of all
met any of
time
these people before?
with the
And
band
then all of a
Offspring.
sudden at this
So
point
crazy.
where everything starts to really make sense and where we are in our lives as them as people
That's
in
not
their
really a cover
band
then, is
and
it?
me as
As an artist.
as an artist and in my band, how it really came together at a time where we both were looking for this. We found so many similarities that it just started
God,
bringing
that
us
would
closer
feel
and
good.
closer together. Where it's
Imagine
like,
like
okay,
meeting
this
Mike
is it,
Shinoda
you know?
and then like
Yeah.
getting on really well and
Amazing.
being like, oh my God.
It,
Hey,
you
Sam.
you can feel it. And I have to say, jumping out through the screen, because I still haven't had the in-body experience. But 6 months ago, we've got this countdown for Linkin Park, which, totally trolled us the first time. Second
I
time,
forgot about that.
oh my gosh.
I forgot about the first
I
countdown.
get goosebumps still thinking about it 4 months later.
Yeah.
Just this moment of anticipation, what's happening, this band we love so much, we've missed them so much, and is it a new singer, is it a new reformation, is it a new band? And then the way you all came out with the Emptiness Machine and gave us this gift of this incredible song, and the way that Mike opens it up and gives you kind of a full proper introduction, and then when you jump in with your voice, oh my God, like it imploded. I was in a room where we were all watching this live stream together here at Q101 in the studio.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was like every emotion you could imagine, crying, just so excited. And oh, your voices sound so good together.
Yeah. I agree.
I know I'm talking a lot. It's such a moment. It's going to be a core memory for me for the rest of my life.
I can't wait to re-listen to it with the better
Believe me.
mix.
I can imagine. But did you and Mike just fall into place immediately day one? You said maybe that first couple sessions wasn't clicking as well as post-pandemic when you kind of came back together and reconvened?
Yeah, I mean, that first time was there was still something there. But it wasn't like it was the second time, where it was just like, whoa, like things just, you can't even explain it.
So that's like a really
It just,
lucky
everything made
second
sense.
chance.
Everything I
Because
did,
if they,
everything we talked
they'd
about.
already
and
tried it didn't work. So how lucky that they
uh,
tried it again and it was something different.
from the message to where we were even in our lives, open, ready, all those things come into play. It's not just yeah, we can write songs together, which it kind of was a little bit more before.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, we can write songs, but there's just other part. It's like the Rubik's Cube, it's like, yeah, you're getting there. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's like so close. Like, well,
Mm.
mostly red on one side, but it's like once all that kind of came together, it clicked. You were like, oh, okay. And then it flowed, everything. And I
Mm.
think that's something that I look for in a band. That's why I love being in a band so much. That synergy, that energy you get with everybody, and everybody plays off each other, and it becomes something bigger than yourself.
That's what we have. And I got to know, how the hell did you keep it a secret for so long?
Yeah, that's true, Ben.
Like, how did you walk around with that inside of you without screaming it on the rooftops?
Believe me, I wanted to at some points, and it just got to the point where I was just like, oh my God, could this just be over? Like, I just started getting so annoyed. I was so excited for a while, and then it was just like,
you know what? That's how I feel, right? That's a funny place to pause, but that's how I feel right now when I'm like on the way to full time, and it's just like I have a date-ish, and now it's just like waiting, and it's the limbo, and it's just like I just want to get going. Like I'm just, that feeling.
Frustration at the end,
Yes.
And obviously it's still because there's so many nerves, where you're just like, I want this to stop. I want these nerves to just go away, But, and at the time I'm like, you know what? This only happens once. Just try to take it in every day. So, you kind of get ahead of yourself, you get behind. It's like all this push and pull from your mind and stuff. And so you just have to kind of be like, you know what, this is only going to happen once. So then that kind of grounded me.
I love that.
I'm going to try to take that
is
on
such
myself.
a work of art, top to bottom. The visuals, the videos Joe's been doing. I think 4 songs were released before we even had the album. Is that right? Like, little tastes and teasers. And sitting with the album, one of my favorite things is the outtakes. So the little commentary between you and Mike, and just from in between sessions or something. And there's one that sticks out where he goes, I think it's before Casualty, and he's like, "Put your screaming pants on."
Screamy. Yeah.
Screamy pants on.
Put your screamy pants on. I'm like, all right.
So
there's a lot of that. Yeah.
What the hell are your screamy pants made of? Because holy shit.
Not polyester.
No. Whatever that you were wearing when you were recording Heavy's The Crown, that might be the most iconic scream I've ever heard. It's got to be at least 67 seconds long of just
assless chaps. That's
there
what it
was.
Oh, see, we have so much in common.
Perfect.
There you go.
I saw a little clip. Are you already working on new music?
It's already out. It's a banger.
There was a little clip of you in a vocal booth, and it didn't sound like a song that I had heard before.
Interesting.
Oh man.
She's like, God, don't ask me anymore.
Well, I
mean, you can't stop Mike, even when there's time off. That
Mike never stopped. Mike never stopped. That's the thing that I learned the most after the From Zero launch show. Going back and listening to everything Mike had done from One More Light, Chester passed away. Mike immediately was writing songs about the situation he was in and about Chester, and he never stopped. He has consistent releases through the entire time until From Zero drops. They're all on my Patreon if you want to go and see them or just go and listen to them. Mike literally, and then like through the pandemic, he released like 3 20-track instrumental albums. He cannot stop writing and producing and creating. He cannot stop. I love that.
Fucking genius is just it's pretty amazing to have, you know, in a band, to have that person. We're so lucky to have him, you know. He's such a great songwriter. So, you know, as long as he's never stopping, we're not stopping. You know?
And we'll keep taking it. So
Y'all
you're
do
pretty
be.
much
Hello.
a little break now, but touring kind of nonstop through November. We finally get Linkin Park in
great.
Chicago. I truly feel like it's been years
We do.
since the announcement, and then not, you know, keep getting 3 dates at a time. They're nowhere near us, trying to figure out what kind of points I can put together to make it over to Korea. Like I have to see Linkin Park.
Yeah.
So in the round, which I'm so excited for, such a badass way to perform and present this new music, the old Linkin Park songs that you are complementing and just executing perfectly. With Paris, August 11th. Tickets still available at q101.com. Oh my gosh. You know, we've been waiting. It'll be a year by the time that show gets here.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to have a lot to
It's going to be longer than that for Australia.
Yes. And I look forward to it.
At that show. I'm just so glad that you're here. And I would be remiss and not doing a service to the dedicated if I didn't acknowledge that Dead Sara is not dead.
No.
There's a limited edition vinyl coming out.
They're not dead, and they're tweeting about me.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Ain't it tragic?
April something. Yeah.
April 12th.
Yep.
First ever vinyl release. Is there other fun stuff in store that I was told this year, maybe? I know you're busy.
Well, there's only so much I could say.
I know.
God, it must be hard to remember what you can.
There's always gonna be fun stuff.
I can't say.
Right. I wanted to clarify because I know the internet's a wild.
Yeah, Guff, we listened to that at the start of the stream.
Just
We watched that video.
Have you ever heard of it? It's kind of
what? It's weird.
But yeah, it's okay. Dead Sara, perfectly fine, healthy, happy. I know Susie is so excited for you and such a great supporter. And you just, like I said, you look like you're having the most fun. And these bands are just so fortunate to have you. And we collectively are all fortunate to
I do, but not
from
well,
all of
Poppy.
that. So I just wish you all the best in the world. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can't wait to see you when you're back in Chicago this August.
We'll see you then.
All right.
All right.
Emily Armstrong, the women who make Q101.
Woo!
Final thoughts, Lauren?
Thank you for joining us. I'm so excited for you guys. I just think that you're going to blow up and you're going to take over the world.
That's nice. I like that. I like the callback there. Yo, Poppy, thank you again.